Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Daz Reacts. And now that I've done all 18 performances from the Angelina Jordan concert in Norway, I want to say, I don't really want to pronounce this because I'm going to mess it up and I'm going to sound like an idiot. But is it Kurbadhagen? I don't know. It was in Norway, but yeah, I think that's the name of the location. That I've actually got it written in front of me, but still pronouncing it is not the easiest thing to do. But yeah, I got through all 18 performances. If you want to watch them individually after this video, I have listed them in the description down below. But yeah, I've decided to rank all of them, and I thought it was going to be easy. That because I've spaced them out, I thought like there's different performances from there that I thought that would easily make the top and easily make the bottom. And then as I've done like I've listened through them again, and then I'm like, oh wow, really? Because there's a couple of songs that kind of grew on me. I never really got into them the first time round, but they grew on me. So they've moved higher in the list, and yeah, this is going to be interesting because a lot of people may agree with this list, and a lot of people may not agree with this list. There wasn't really any performances that were bad, but there were a couple there that wasn't really for me. I'm not going to say I didn't like them because that's not the case. They just really wasn't for me. So yeah, we're going to get straight into this, and let me know in the comments down below if you agree with this, if you agree with 1 to 18, or if you would have had them in any different order. And let me know if there was any surprises there as well for you in terms of like, especially the top, maybe the top 5, because that might have surprised a few people. But like for me, it was hard. That it was a lot easier at the bottom than it was at the top of the list, to be fair. So we'll see. We're going to get into this. So the first one, number 18, was All of Me. And I'm not gonna lie, when I when I saw this, I was expecting it to be the John Legend song. That I didn't expect it to be the older All of Me, which I knew, but I couldn't remember at the time. But I don't know. This there was a choice of maybe like not even 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 songs that had to be. There's always going to be a song that has to be at the bottom, and the next one, number 17 on this list, was actually at the bottom at first, but then I kind of swapped them over. I don't know what, it don't really make a difference anyway, but I swapped them over. So yeah, so All of Me, it was a good performance, but I just preferred others. 17, at number 17, there was, and this might surprise a few people because I remember reading the comments when I actually reacted to this one, and like a lot of people were on the fence with this, not the performance but the song choice. That it's not the sort of song that they would listen to away from like Angelina Jordan and things like that. But number 17 was Fly Me to the Moon. That, I don't know, this just, going through this concert, if I had to choose, this is not one of them songs that I would play again. And it's not through Angelina Jordan, it's just I'm not really into this song that much. I've heard a few covers of this song in the past, and obviously it's Frank Sinatra and things like that, I don't know, it's not a song for me. But the bottom two, like 17 and 18 out of this, was kind of easy for me, to be fair, because even reacting to them, that like, and then I reacted to them and that was watching it for the first time, and then I've watched all of these videos again and again. Like, these two very easily make up the bottom two. I could quite easily switch them around between 17 and 18, but it doesn't really make a difference. Number 16 is a surprise because this one was actually higher on the list, and then as I started to listen to more, it worked its way down. And then when I got to the end of this list, I was like, oh crap, this is how good all of the performances were, because I like this song. The number 16 is Killing Me Softly. And like I said, I think I put this when I first started doing this list, this was in the top 10. And then I started listening to more and more songs. I was like, this is dropped from like 9 or 10 down to 16. And yeah, so Killing Me Softly with the Fugees. And like, this is one that I actually went back and I listened to again, and then I listened to it again after that to see if I could put it up the list, and then I just couldn't think of where I could like rise it up. So yeah, at 16 it was Killing Me Softly, which again, like, let me know if you agree with that, or if you'd have put it higher or lower. Some people might have put it lower, that's the thing. Some people might have preferred Fly Me to the Moon over Killing Me Softly. But yeah, for me, that Killing Me Softly ended up at 16. At number 15, that So the thing is, number 15, she sung this really well, but I found that, like, with this one, it was the band that kind of took the spotlight on this one, and it was House of the Rising Sun, which she sung it really well, and I do like this song. And I think it was the same as like Killing Me Softly. It kind of went down the list, but I think even with my reaction, my focus was more on the band. Like they shone through a lot in this performance, but yeah, like there's just so many performances. Like there's just so many good performances in this concert that it was always going to be up. I actually remember saying that I was going to rank like the top 50. That this was bad enough just doing like 18 songs from one concert. Like doing like the top 50 would have been. I need to try and focus a lot on the camera as well. It's because I've got a laptop here and I need to, like, sometimes the camera freezes, so now I've just like, it's just memory to keep looking at myself to make sure I'm moving and things like that. So I need to start looking at the camera more. So yeah, so House of the Rising Sun is, like I said, it was a good performance, but I found that the band shone through a little bit more on that. The focus was on them a little bit more. So that ended up at number 15. Number 14 was the Elton John cover of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And the reason why this one kind of went a little bit higher than the others, that it was a good performance, and I don't mind the song. The song's okay, but the high note that she hit in this was incredible. The high note, like, I've done it through the reaction, and I've done it when I watched it again, that like rewinding just to hear the high note in this song, it was amazing. And that's why it kind of went above House of the Rising Sun and Killing Me Softly, just over my preferences, because there's a couple of songs here that she done that she hits that high note, and like it raises it up the list just for that, basically. And that's what happened with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road from the Elton John one. Right, so number 13. Here's the thing. I don't dread it when I do Angelina Jordan reactions, but it's a different word for it. But I'm not gonna like mess with my brain to try and figure out what that word is. But this next one at number 13, not many people like to hear this comparison, and with AJ fans, again, it's one of them things where it's on the fence. Number 13 is Tears Dry on Their Own, which is the Amy Winehouse cover. But she sounds so much like Amy Winehouse in this, and some people agree with that and some people find issues with it, and I don't understand why, because like Amy Winehouse was incredible in her own right, and when she came out, she was like, for her music and her sound, it was all unique, and she became very, very popular, probably more popular after death, but she still became very popular for her music. So I don't know why some people don't really like the comparison in terms of voices and things like that, because Amy Winehouse had an incredible voice and Angelina Jordan has an incredible voice. But yeah, so I this is there, but I like the performance, I like the song, but yeah, there is a lot of the time when I listen to Angelina Jordan sing, and I kind of just get lost in the like the comparison in terms of voices. And it's not just with Amy Winehouse, there's been a couple of others where she kind of sounds a little bit like them, and like that's where I just lose my mind with that. But yeah, at number 13 it was Tears Dry on Their Own. And again, let me know down below as I'm doing this, that I'm going to premiere this anyway, so I'm talking about this, but you're probably watching this as a premiere now. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you agree with the listing so far and like the ranking and where they are, because it will be interesting to know where you would have put these songs as well. And you can't comment and say all of these would have been at number 1. You can't do that. I didn't like rack my brain and like crave alcohol from doing this list for you to turn around and say they all belong at number 1. You can't do that. Right, so 13, Tears Dry on Their Own. At the next one, that number 12, I think this is going to be one where a few people would have said no, this should have been higher on the list. But again, like it's a personal preference for me because of the fact that like other songs I like more because of like it might be my genre of music, or it might be like the high notes she hear or things like that, or sentimental value or whatever reason. So you might not agree with this listing in terms of numbers, but at number 12 it's Bang Bang. And this one, again, the song Bang Bang, I would have preferred other songs from a 18-track playlist on this, but the reason why this one went higher on the list is because she actually played her own instrument in it as well, which was nice to see. That I've watched a lot of Angelina Jordan covers up until now, and I don't really see her playing instruments that much. In this one, she was playing the guitar. I think I've seen her in the past playing on the piano and things like that. But yeah, this one went higher on the list because it was actually nice to see her playing an instrument as well as singing. It's always impressive to me, probably because I'm not good at multitasking, so I always find it impressive. But yeah, at number 12 was Bang Bang, and next up is number 11. And number 11, okay, so here's the thing, number 11 was in the top 3 or 4 when I started this, but because I was listening to it and I'd gone through and listened to like 5 songs, and I put this in maybe the top 5, and again it dropped down and down and down. But I think it's because that I've heard her singing this so many times that I don't know. It's just something that, like, not the wow factor. The wow factor's always there. I can't explain why this ended up dropping on the list. It's probably just because the other ones, she just performed them better. I just prefer them better. But at number 11 is Valerie. And again, like, I've heard her performing this quite a few times now, and I really like the way she sings it. And she seems so comfortable singing this song that it seems like this is the sort of song that, like, in terms of music, if she was going in her own direction, these are the sort of songs that she would edge more towards. And she always seems so comfortable singing it. It seems so natural for her to be singing songs like these from the likes of Amy Winehouse and things like that. But yeah, I really like this one, and I can't think as to why it dropped down so much on the list, but it did. And it actually, at the end of this list, I was sitting there contemplating whether I should swap Valerie around with what came in at number 10, and in the end I didn't, because I really do like this song. At number 10 is You Don't Own Me, and I thought this was a great performance. And this was another one that at the time, like when I looked at the final list, I was thinking, like, how is this just at number 10? That's the thing, that's how impressive this is. That, like, I've got songs that are between 10 and 18, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, how was this so low? But it just goes to show, like, how good her other performances were at this concert. That it's incredible to think that this song is at number 10. But this was a great performance, and this is one that, like, given the choice of going back and listening to again, I would go back and listen to this one quite a lot. I've already got it on one of my private YouTube playlists, and, like, I've got a few from this concert that are on there. So, like, if it's the case that if I'm doing things and I've got a playlist playing from YouTube, these songs do come on there, and I really do like this one. I like the original to this as well, so I think that's why I really did enjoy this. At number 9, it's crazy because this was probably one of the best performances from the show, but it ended up at number 9 because the ones above is the fact that I preferred other songs. That I like this song, but I'm not the biggest fan of this song, so it ended up going a bit down the list. But yeah, at number 9 is Mercy, and I know this is a favourite for a lot of people. And like I said, it was one of my favourite performances from the show, but for some reason it just ended up going down to number 9. And that, yes, this was a hard list. I'm not gonna lie. Even just going through this now, like nothing's like rehearsed. All I've done is I've done this list and I've put a few notes, so I'm sitting there reading off of this list now. And yeah, it's just crazy to think that, like, this one ended up at number 9 because it was such an incredible performance. I don't know, this was so hard. Oh, don't expect to see too many of these lists on this channel because this was bloody hard. Yeah, so at number 9 was Mercy, and at number 8, so number 8, this one ended up high on the list just for personal reasons. That I enjoy listening to this one, but the first time I watched it, she was young. I think she was like 6 or 7 years old, maybe 8. And it was one of the first performances that I listened to from this concert, and it is high on the list. If you've watched the reaction video, you know why. But it's Patsy Cline's Crazy, and this is number 8 on the list because this was my nan's favourite song. And every time I hear this song, I've listened to other people sing this song. I recently done Home Free covering this song, and I said the same, that I'm always going to enjoy covers of this song because it's not something that you hear covered too many times, and it is the case that it's always going to remind me of my nan. That's the thing. This was her favourite song. This is always going to be high on the list. And if you've watched that reaction video, some people may be thinking this should have been higher on the list based on the reasons. But yeah, again, this was so hard. That so hard. But yeah, so at number 8 it was Patsy Cline's Crazy, which again I really enjoyed. Number 7 was actually the first ever AJ song that I reacted to when I started this channel, and I was blown away by this song. That okay, because this is for the people that are watching now as a premiere. Who can tell me what that first reaction video was? This is for the AJ fans on my channel now that have been here since day dot. What was the first song that I reacted to of Angelina Jordan? And that I'll give you a couple of seconds. But yeah, this was the first one, and it still sounds just as incredible as it did when I first started reacting to her, like this concert. And I'll give you a clue. She sung this song. It's obviously a cover, but she made it her own. Probably one of the biggest songs that she's made her own on since she started. That I'm gonna give you in 3, 2, 1. Suspicious Minds by Elvis Presley. And I know this song very well. That my dad is an Elvis fanatic. He has been since he was 6 years old. And like the Suspicious Minds that I know very well. And when I first heard Angelina Jordan singing this song, I knew for a fact that like I'd want to do more for her on the channel, because I watched this and then I watched Billie Jean, and then she made that her own as well, and I was like, it's just absolutely incredible. And I haven't really seen many songs after that which she's completely taken and making her own like she has with them two. But yeah, Suspicious Minds is always going to be one that is going to be, like, for me, one of the best because of the way she changed that song. And it's one of them songs that you hear a cover of it and automatically you think of Elvis because it's an Elvis song, but when she sang it you didn't think of Elvis at all, because she just made it her own completely. And the performance from this concert was just as incredible as the first video that I watched. So that's why I decided to put Suspicious Minds at number 7. This is one that was higher on the list, but it started to become very tough now. Like at this point of like ranking, it became very tough. A lot of these tracks now from 6 to 1 or 7 to 1 got changed around a lot. Some of these were at number 1 and then dropped down, and then some of them were down and then went higher. And yeah, it was hard. But we carry on. So at number 7 was Suspicious Minds. Number 6 was the cover of Whitney Houston's I Have Nothing. And this is just as a personal preference to me, that I would be happy if AJ decided to take this musical route with her album. I've always been into like R&B and pop and things like that, so like mixing them together, like Whitney Houston, like if you look at like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Gabrielle, Toni Braxton, that kind of music, that I grew up listening to it. So as I've got older, I've continued to listen to it. So whenever I hear Angelina Jordan singing songs along them lines, I'm always happy to hear it. And yeah, I was listening to this one again last night, and I was just thinking that like I would be happy if she took this musical route. I don't think she will, and it's not a problem that she won't. But yeah, like as a personal like choice, I would be happy if she took this route, because I've grown up listening to it and I'm just always into this music. But yeah, at number 6 is I Have Nothing, and the performance here was amazing. It was a really good performance, and I think a lot of these now you can probably think of like 6 to 1 in terms of like what high notes and that she hit, barring like 1 or 2, like that it is the case. It goes on based on Goosebumps, and I Have Nothing. It's got a few very high notes in it, and she hit them very well. She done it really well. And for number 5 is one that it goes higher on the list, because every time I hear it, it just makes the hairs on my arm stick up. Like for the high notes and that she hits in this song are just amazing. That it's always like bone chilling. And at number 5 is Mount Everest. And this is one that I know a few people are going to say it should have been higher on the list, but when you hear the rest of the list, you might change your mind on that. I don't know. But like Mount Everest is one that I prefer over a lot of the performances from this concert. And it is one that like it's always a song that like you want to sit and listen to, that like you'll have headphones on, you don't want to get distracted, and you wait for them high notes, and it is absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's why Mount Everest ended up at number 5. And if you've been concentrating all the way through, you'll probably realise that like her originals up until 5 haven't really been on the list yet. So it probably gives you an indication of where we're going with this. So at number 4 is Seventh Heaven, and this is another like performance where, like I said earlier about with Valerie, she seems so comfortable doing Amy Winehouse and covering Amy Winehouse, but Seventh Heaven was probably the most comfortable performance that she done in this whole show. That, not to say that she was uncomfortable or she performed badly or anything, but just in terms of like, it's her own song, that it's just something that like you're gonna take your own and you're gonna do amazing with it over covers and things like that. But yeah, I don't know, it's just something like twigged in my brain to think that like when I was watching these, that Seventh Heaven was probably the most comfortable performance of all of these. And it ended up high on the list. I do like the song as well. It's a nice upbeat song, and I like the music video to it. I did enjoy watching the music video to it. I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, what the hell's going on here? I have no idea. And then I watched it a couple of times more after that, and I was like, yeah, I get it. So yeah, number 4 was Seventh Heaven. Number 3, if I remember rightly, I've not actually gone back to watch my original reaction to this song. I think I've reacted to this song twice on my channel, and I think for both of them, it was that it's alright, it's not too... But this is a song that's grown on me. And and when I watched it again last night, that it would have been lower on the list. But I don't know, it's a song that's grown on me. And like, not just the AJ version, but even the original version. And it just kept getting higher and higher on the list. And I listened to this one a couple of times last night by AJ, and then I went to listen to the original. And I just enjoy it, and that's why it ended up higher. And some of you may agree with this, some of you may have put this towards the bottom of the list, I don't know. But at number 3 is Love on the Brain, which is the cover of the Rihanna song. I've really, really got into this song. I don't know why. That it was the case that I'm saying I don't know why. I do know why. That my wife was playing like an all R&B playlist from Amazon Music a few weeks ago. And this song came on, and do you know when you're sitting there listening to it and you're thinking, I know this song from somewhere, where do I know this song? And then it twigged that I've listened to like Angelina Jordan singing this song, and then obviously it comes up on the echo that it's Rihanna. And for some reason, like something just switched in my head, like, you like this song now? It's like, okay, I like this song now, I'll put it on my playlist. And then, so I've listened to the Rihanna one a few times since then, and yeah, I listened to the AJ version. I appreciated the AJ version a bit more after getting into the song a little bit more, if that makes sense. I don't know, but that's why this ended up a little bit higher on the list, which if I would have done this list a month ago, it might not have been as high, but yeah, it's high. I'm actually sitting there thinking now that it's ended up higher on the list, and it is a good song, but maybe number 3 is not the place for it. I maybe would have swapped this with Suspicious Minds, put this one at number 7 and Suspicious Minds at number 3, but then I could have put Seventh Heaven at number 3 and this at number 4, Mount Everest. See, this is hard. I'm actually now I've done this list last night and I looked over it and I was like, yeah, that's fun, and now I'm talking about it, I was like, no, it's not fine. I don't know. Alright, it's fine, we're going to conquer on anyway. I've put Love on the Brain at number 3. Let me know if you agree with that, or if you would have put it lower. Or what would you have swapped it with? That if I've got Love on the Brain at number 3, any song that I've done from 18 to 4 now, what song would you have swapped this with number 3? Let me know in the comments down below. Right, so number 2, and let's see if you can guess this. So with number 2 is the song that gives me goosebumps every single time. And I said earlier in this video that Suspicious Minds is probably the one song that she's taken and made her own more than any other. And now I've just seen this one at number 2 and I'm thinking, no, because she done this. Let's see. Right, so number 2. I'll give you some clues if you're racking your brain about it. So she done this one on a talent show, and I believe she got a golden buzzer for it. No, she didn't get a golden buzzer. Okay, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, so I'm just at number 2 was Bohemian Rhapsody, and again, this is a song that I actually remember when I first done this. I got so many comments to say that like Queen had given her the copyright to her version of the song. I actually remember that very well. But I was left shocked like when I first heard this, that when I first heard this song, when I first heard her singing this, because I like the Queen version as well. The Queen version is brilliant. And this is another one that I haven't, before starting this channel, I hadn't heard probably any covers of this song. Before starting this channel, the only time I'd heard this song away from Queen was when Lee Evans done it at the end of one of his shows. Other than that, I'd not really heard any covers. So I've heard some covers since. AJ's cover for me is still at the top of that list of the covers that I've heard. But yeah, this one, like I said, gives me goosebumps every single time I hear it. And probably more over Suspicious Minds now, that where she made this song her own. That obviously Elvis can't turn around and say, no, that I'll give you the copyright to it. But yeah, the fact that Queen did is incredible. And yeah, this always deserved to be higher on the list. And if it wasn't for number one, for the reason why I put it at number one, Bohemian Rhapsody probably could have been at the top of this tree. But it didn't for a reason. And the reason is, at number one is, you probably already guessed it now, that like, if you've sat and watched this all the way through, you'll know what number one is. That you have to know what number one is. Number one is A Million Miles. And this is probably my most listened to of the Angelina songs from my playlist, because it's obvious, it's on my kitchen playlist, which obviously I play a lot because I'm in the kitchen a lot. Like I'm cooking, cleaning, or I'm with my daughter in the kitchen or whatever. So this song gets played a lot. But if I sit and think of like Angelina Jordan and what songs I want to play, then this is the one that comes to mind 9 times out of 10. And the performance from this was amazing. I really, really did enjoy the performance from this concert. That high note that I should put it as a ringtone. Just someone rings my phone. It's just that high note that plays in this song. But yeah, I really like the fact that the story behind the song as well. That like, everything about it, that like her performance, the lyrics in it, the story behind it. There's just so many reasons to love this song. And from everything on this list, so from top to bottom, from 18 to 1, a lot of these songs, probably apart from, well, even yeah, All of Me, Fly Me to the Moon and Killing Me Softly, all got changed around a lot from the bottom. But this one, Million Miles, as soon as I heard it last night, this went at number 1 and it never moved. It never moved from number 1 at all. So yeah, that's what we got. Let's go through this list again. So, and let me know if you agree. So at number 18, we've got All of Me. Number 17, we've got Fly Me to the Moon. 16 was Killing Me Softly. 15 was House of the Rising Sun. 14 was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Tears Dry on Their Own at 13. Bang Bang at 12. Number 11 was Valerie. And then in the top 10, you had You Don't Own Me. Mercy at number 9. Crazy at number 8. Suspicious Minds at number 7. I Have Nothing at 6. Number 5 was Mount Everest. Number 4 was Seventh Heaven. Number 3 was Love on the Brain, which, talking about it now, I probably would swap that around with a couple of others, but it's fine. Number 2 was Bohemian Rhapsody. And at number 1 was Million Miles. That's my list. That is my top 18. So from, I'm not going to say from bad to best, because there was no bad performances. If I didn't have a preference over a song, it doesn't mean it was a bad performance. I enjoyed each and every single one of these. That vocally, they was all incredible. But if you're going to rank something, you're always going to have a bottom. Let me know if you agreed. And if you've stuck around until the end of this premiere, and if you've stuck around to watching the end of this video as well, thank you. Guys, listen, I hope you enjoyed this. If you want me to do more ranking videos like this, let me know in the comments down below as well. I really enjoyed it, actually. It was a bit stressful last night, but sometimes it's nice just to sit here and actually, like I say, look at the list and just chat away. It is nice. But guys, listen, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, let me know if you want me to do more ranking videos, and I can definitely get round to doing that. I believe that there is on the 24th, I believe, maybe Friday, the 20, what is it? It's Tuesday today, isn't it? Tuesday, Wednesday. Anyway, on Friday, I'm premiering this on Thursday, so tomorrow there is going to be the Angelina Jordan's EP coming out. I'm working on Friday. I'm hoping that it comes out early in the morning so I can come out, I can react, I can edit, I can upload, and I will have them all for you Friday. If not, I will have them all for you on Saturday, guaranteed. But guys, listen, thank you all for tuning in. Enjoyed. Lost my words. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, have a nice day, stay safe, be kind, and I'll see you in the next one.